Okay, I just realized that you probably couldn't watch me paint all these things. I'm going to move this up here. I've cleaned my brush. This is all the paint that I've used out of that little bit. So I'm going to take my yellow. I've got my angle brush. I've been painting for years, like I said. You want to remember, oops, just about dipped it in the red. Got to be careful with that too. You do not want to mix your colors. I'm going to show you this for an example. If I get in here and that red is wet, it's not wet because it's not bleeding, these colors will mix. So if I take, this is wet right here. See that piece right there that's wet? If I take and I paint over it with my yellow, what's going to happen? I'm going to make orange. So you do see what's happened on the brush? So if that happens, clean your brush, talk to me with the ceiling tile that I can hopefully fix it. So I'm going to clean, when you do clean your brush, artist, we get it in there, check on the edge, make sure it's clean, make sure we're not splattering everywhere. Dry it on the paper towel, very gently reshape it, and then put it back in the tray or up in the cup. Now the next part that I wanted to show you, I'm going to get just a second here. These are the paintable, expensive Sharpies, okay? See how it says water-based, have some that are oil-based. You open them up, and this one has not been started. So you're not going to be using these today, but I want to show you. You would press it down, and the color is black, and black, most of them that you're using have already been started. So that black, oh, see how it's starting to come down? It's starting to come out, okay? And these are expensive, like I said. But the quality is so much better. You would take and you would outline. That's wet, so you would never do this when it's wet. I'm doing it this close so you can see it. Now, when some kids outline, here's another example. They think, oh, well, I've got to get outside this area. No, don't do that. You want to go right up against where you drew. Wherever you had your pencil, you're going to go right on top of it. Now, see how I did outside that line there so you could see my mistake? When I say that you're going to be able, and I hate doing this up here, but I want you to be able to see it, you're going to go right on that line, have a steady hand, and now it's fixed your mistake. Same thing here. Look at that right there. There's a little bit of paint. Use a steady hand. Make sure I'm not smearing anything. This is when you have your tile completely done. Look how that really makes that pop and stands out. Now I would turn this. I'm going to come over here and show you this one. This is when you would add the extra detail. Oh, see, I made a mistake. So just go back over and make that a little bit thicker. So these extra lines that I've drawn on here, and we'll probably practice with Sharpies after your paint's dry. Then you would come back in and maybe you would put your number in. You know, maybe it's the firefighter number 1. Then you would come in, see those pen lines that I have? So if you have extra detail, this is where you would add it. So today, all we're doing is practicing getting our stuff set up, using the Sharpies, talking about the stencils, having a ruler, lining it up. And I don't care if you paint this whole thing. Whatever you choose. Now see, there's that little area. Another thing that I wanted to show you real quick before I turn off this video is if you paint, you always want to do the lighter first. Because see how you can't cover up? It's hard to cover up that. But if I made a mistake, then I could go over it with darker. And I'm sorry all these timers are going off. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to practice using the stencils. Draw whatever picture you want. But the most important thing is I might set a timer and say, okay, it's time to stop drawing. The most important part about this lesson today is practicing using these paintbrushes.